we already started about nutrition in plants, in which we studied the two modes of nutrition. The first one is autotrophic mode of nutrition and the second one is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Autotrophic mode is in which we studied they are the green plants and those who can themselves make their own food and the one who do not depend on others for their food. They undergo photosynthesis by which they get the food in the form of glucose. So that was all about autotrophic mode of nutrition. Today we'll be studying in detail about heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Hetero itself means other and trophic means nutrition. Those plants who depends on others for their nutrition is called as heterotrophs. Now these are also plant but still they are unable to make their own food. The reason behind it is that some of the plants do not contain chlorophyll, while some grow in such a place where there is no enough light. Due to these two reasons, they are unable to undergo photosynthesis. Whereas some can undergo photosynthesis but still they lack few nutrition, due to which they need to depend on other organism for their food. There are four types of heterotrophic plants. First one is parasitic plant, second is saprophytic plants, third is insectivorous plants, and fourth is symbiotic plants. So let's start with parasitic plants. Parasitic plants. Parasitic plant is one that partially or completely depends on other plants for their nutrition. Those plants on which these parasitic plant depends are called as host. These parasitic plants develop special roots which penetrate into the tissue of the host plant and absorbs the nutrition from them. Example of this parasitic plant is Cuscuta. So let us see the mechanism of this Cuscuta plant. I am drawing the diagram of host with the help of green color. Suppose this is the host plant. What the parasites do, like Cuscuta, they twist themselves completely on this host plant, just as I am showing you. This is how they twist themselves. And as I already told you, they have small roots present on them. Suppose these are the roots. Cuscuta has modified roots which are called as haustoria. Or you can also say haustorium. Let us study this in much detail. This is the host plant, which consists of the vascular tissues, which is called as xylem and phloem. This is the parasite. These parasites have the haustoria. These haustoria enters the host till the vascular tissue. The xylem absorbs the water from the roots and pass it to the leaves, whereas the leaves undergo photosynthesis, prepare the food, and the food, which is in the form of glucose, is transported to different parts of the plant with the help of phloem. So these are the two very important tissues in the plant. So these haustoria enters, or you can say penetrates deep inside the vascular tissue. Let me just write here haustoria. And from there it absorbs all the nutrition which is requires this parasitic plant to grow. Another most important thing to remember about parasitic plant is they only benefit themselves and in return they are harming the host. The parasitic plants harms the host plants to some extent by slowing down its growth and sometimes causes heavy damage, as most of the nutrition is absorbed by these parasites. Because of that, the host plant is not getting enough of nutrition to develop or to grow in a proper manner. So this was all about the parasitic plant. Now let us study about saprophytic plant. Saprophytic plants. The word itself says sapros means rotten or rotting. Phyton means plant. So those plants who grow on these rotten plants are called as saprophytic plants. What these saprophytic plants do is they take the nutrition from dead and decaying plants and animal. Wherever there is degraded or dead and decaying matter of plants and animal, on them these saprophytic plants grow. Their colors are very beautiful white color, or sometimes it is very bright colors. These plants often have no leaves at all. Other than that, one more very important thing is that they often grow in deep shades in tropical forest. Those places where there is lack of sunlight, they are basically found in that region, like tropical forest. Tropical forest means it is very dense forest where the sunlight cannot penetrate till the surface of the forest. In those places, these kind of saprophytic plants are found. Example of these plants are Indian pipe, and the second one is coral root. These are the two diagrams of them. Now what happens here is the root of these saprophytic plants contain organisms like fungi. Fungi, you all know, grow in very wet and decaying matter. The same thing happens here. Suppose this is the saprophytic plant. Wherever the roots are present, it will always be in the dead and decaying matter. This is the dead matter. So here you will find the fungi growing, because fungi also grow in dead and decaying matter. Therefore, fungi is also called as a saprophytic plant. This is the most common example. This was all about parasitic plant and saprophytic plant. In my next video, we'll be studying about insectivorous plant and symbiotic plants.